In this webinar, we give you a glimpse behind the curtain of BombBomb. We let you know kind of the whole iteration of personalization in video and how that history has evolved to where it is today. We talk about a ton of research that we did with people just like you, whether you're in sales, marketing, CS, HR, it doesn't matter. We learned a lot. And then we talk about where BombBomb is headed and how we're going to help you be more effective with using personalized video to build more relationships. Take a look. Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are we all? I see people just jumping in, climbing in. Happy Wednesday morning. It's June 11th, and this is a big day for us. We've got some really exciting stuff to talk about today. We are thrilled that you all are here, and we're going to kind of just go through a whole bunch of stuff, give you a whole ton of information. But I'm also going to give it a minute to let everybody jump in and get everything organized. I've got some amazing people that are going to join me on this webinar today, so I'm excited to introduce them, but I don't want to do it before everybody's kind of in here, ready to listen, so we're just going to give it just a minute here. For those of you that have joined us before, you know the routine. We like to get chat going early on, so let me take care of some of the housekeeping stuff. Let's go ahead. If you're here, go ahead and chat in where you are joining us from. It's always fun to see where people are jumping in from because we get people from all over the world, all over the US. Julia's already in there from Denver. We're in Colorado. That's where I'm at. But you can see already Mississippi, California, Iowa, Florida, Oregon. Hey, we got some other Colorado Springs. Welcome. You're just down the street from us. But thank you, thank you, thank you for all being here. So as you can see, some of the housekeeping pieces, I am huge on that. All of our webinars are not just us being talking heads. I want you guys to talk a lot as well as the community of BombBomb. I strongly believe we have one of the best communities out there. We have the best people that jump in and lean into what we're talking about. So if you've got questions, please jump in, throw stuff in chat. It's a great way to start conversations and learn what's working for other people. What are they doing? What are they hoping for? What are they leaning into? Because guess what? We're learning from all of you every day as well. So please use chat for that regard. Now, the other option, and most of us are not new to Zoom at this point, but there's also a Q&A button. And I do see a couple of Q&As as well thrown in here. Q&A is really good for poignant questions that you don't want us to miss. As you can see, chat starts scrolling and going pretty fast, and we've got a couple hundred people in here. So we don't want to miss things that we can help you with. And this webinar is going to be a little different than some of our most, and I'll talk about that in just a second here. But if you've got a specific question that you're like, I really want to make sure this gets answered, or I don't want them to miss this, throw it in Q&A, and we will do the best to kind of pinpoint that there. The other big question that comes up every webinar is, are you recording this? Absolutely. We always do. And we always, just for you guys, so you know, we always throw it on our website. If you go to bombbomb.com/webinars, it does have to have an S. So make sure you put the webinars on there. You can look at all of our past webinar recordings. You can see all of that stuff as well. So you'll be able to jump in there. The other thing to know is we will always send a follow-up email as well. So you'll get an email in the next few days that just is a recap of this. We'll send you the slides. We'll send you the recording. We're going to send you all sorts of updates and things like that. So that's the housekeeping stuff. We're a few minutes in, and I just got to give a quick shout out here because I was just looking at chat while I was talking. Mark Kissinger is on vacation in Lake Garda, Italy, and is still on our BombBomb webinars. So Mark, you get a giant round of applause. And also, I kind of am mad at you because you're in Italy and I'm not. And Italy is my favorite place in the entire world. So, Mark, we're glad you're here. Thanks for being here. With all that being said, I don't want to sit here and talk about us the whole time. Let me introduce these amazing faces that you're seeing here that you're probably not used to seeing. If you've been here before, you know me. I'm Kevin. I'm one of our product engagement managers here, and I get to host these webinars or webinars like these on a monthly basis. Some of the faces you don't know, I have the wonderful Julia Gersuk with us. She is the director of product marketing here at BombBomb. Julia, good morning. How are you?
Hey there. I'm super excited to be here with all of you.
Well, Julia is a rock star. You've been at BombBomb, what, 2 years-ish?
2 years.
2 years, 2 long years. But she has been instrumental in the rollout of some of the things we're going to show you today, in a lot of the research and stuff that we're going to convey to you all today. She is just a wealth of knowledge and expertise, and I am so thrilled that she's here. The other wonderful person that we have here is Steph Kelly. Steph Kelly is our principal product manager, and just so excited that she's here. She's going to be talking through some research and things. What's amazing about this is we're bringing in people who are oftentimes on the back end of this process that we don't get to hear from on a regular basis. And what I think is going to be really cool about today is they're going to start to tell you some of the things we learned, the things that we're researching, the things that we're discovering and that are helping us make choices from learning from people just like you guys. So, Steph, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm so excited to share a lot of the research we've been doing with folks like you today.
Well, we're so excited that you're here. And Steph, it's funny. We always run into the Zoom and technical hiccups as well. So Steph was fighting through I can't get in, the link's not working. Where's the password? What's going on? And you know what? We're here. That's all that matters at this point. So, with that being said, I am so excited to jump in. I'm going to go ahead and just start kind of showing you guys some stuff. And I do actually want to start after I go over our agenda. I'm going to launch a little poll for you guys just because we always like hearing from you as well. It's always a fun thing to you're going to hear that as a theme of we want to hear from you, we want to talk to you and do those things. So, Julia, am I sharing the right screen? Are you guys seeing the future of video messaging?
You are indeed. And
Okay,
if
good. I always like to double check. I've definitely done webinars where I'm sharing the wrong thing the whole time, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" So, all right. So here's what we're doing. Our agenda today is a little different than most. If you come to our deep dive webinars on a monthly basis, you'll know we are really big on strategy and on technical know-how, on helping you expand your video usage. We're going a little bit of a different direction. This is not technically a deep dive this month because we've got some really exciting insights that we thought would be so valuable for you. I actually recently jumped on a webinar from a marketing consultant, and she's really an expert in that space. And she went over here's the things I'm learning and the research that I'm doing and what the data is showing me on what you should be doing moving forward. That's kind of the direction we're taking this. We want to take a step back and show you where BombBomb's been for so long. We want to talk about a lot about what we've learned and things that we're learning from people just like you so that you can understand, oh, these are things I need to be adapting and starting to use within my business. And then we're going to talk about future state. What are we changing? Where are we headed as BombBomb? Now, for those of you that might be sitting here going like, oh, well, I wanted to learn how to use the screen recorder. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the webinar for you for that regard. We're not going to be going technical walkthrough of the system. We're not going to be teaching specific technical things. We're going to be talking much higher level about video in general and where we see video going. I think this is, no, I know this is going to be incredibly beneficial for you. It's going to be really helpful for you to see, man, this is what people in my industry, this is what people just like me are doing. And here's what BombBomb is doing to help me along that path. So whether you're a user of BombBomb, whether you're not, we don't care. We're glad you're here. There's going to be some amazing stuff to learn from that. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and launch this poll real quick because I just think it's always fun to hear from you all and just hear what your hopes and dreams are. So the question I've got for you this month is what is the most important factor for you in maintaining or increasing your video usage moving forward? You can see I've got, 5 different options up here. We've got a ton of answers rolling in and I'll share these results with you. But Julia, I'll throw it to you a little bit. I haven't even showed you this question, so I'm putting you on the spot. What do you think when you think about maybe your personal video usage, or you can go video usage in whole? What are some of the ones that trigger for you as really important factors?
It's a really great question. I'm between two. I'm between leaning into personalization and AI enhancements, and I think we're gonna like dive more into why.
Okay, Steph, do you have any feelings on this? Will I let a few more people answer on their end?
Yeah, I think leaning into personalization is something we've heard from a lot of our customers is very exciting for them.
That's awesome. Well, good. I know we're going to share more about that. I know for me personally, and I'll give you like 20 more seconds. So throw your answers in if you haven't answered yet. I think it's really interesting to look at some of these because leaning into personalization obviously is the heart and soul of what we believe is powerful with video, is being able to have those human interactions, that human to human connection. And yet, the biggest trigger terms in the world right now are AI. So how do we use these tools? How do we use this functionality and still lean into the personalization? Guess what? We're going to talk about that. So let me share these just to kind of show you guys we're all over the map, which I love. I love that everybody's got their own priorities. You can see leaning into personalization was the highest by a good 10%, which is great. AI enhancements are important for you guys, but automations, integrating with your systems, and you know what? That elephant in the room that's just always here, I don't think it's ever going to go away, is just that courage to record more. Those of you that have been with us, we've got lots of resources. This is a conversation we do not shy away from because we understand it's not comfortable for everybody to jump on screen all the time. You may have not gotten into your HR work because you love recording videos, right? You may not be a loan officer or a salesperson because video was your passion, but we know this could be a really, really impactful way. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And let's start looking at a little bit of the past. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I think it's really good to think about what has the journey of BombBomb been and the journey of video been. For those of you that don't know BombBomb as well, here's just a little bit kind of high level about us. You can see a whole bunch of the brands that we work with here, but fun fact, we were actually founded in 2006 as a company. Our CEO founded us in 2006. I think what really put this into perspective for me, one, I'd only been out of high school for like 2 years at that point, so that felt weird. Just realizing it's been that long. But the second one is, and just think about this for a second, because this world seems ages ago. The iPhone, the first iPhone, didn't even come out till 2007. So when we are so used to recording videos and just doing all this stuff, that was not in the landscape in 2006. And I'm not going to go into the whole origin story of how Connor came up with this, but he was in sales. He was selling billboard ad space, decided, I want to touch base with my people, recorded a video and sent it to all of his people, trying to sell more billboard ad space. And guess what they all replied with? How did you do that video? How do I make this work on my own? And that's kind of the heart of it. That's the root of where it came. Obviously, a very quick version. If you ever hear Connor, our CEO, talk about it, you'll get a really amazing hour-long story of all the details, and it's passionate and fun. So just a little high-level overview. You know, we've worked with so many clients over these years, but I think it's fun to look at that. Now, what I want to spend a little bit more time on is just talking about kind of the evolution of video in general. Now, I only went back to 2005. Of course, there's been video much longer than that, but we're really focusing on kind of this personalized one-to-one type of video, essentially. Now, you can see I went back to 2006 and have that BombBomb was launched there, but also a really interesting one, less of the one-to-one, but really looking at how we engage in video in general. YouTube was actually purchased by Google in 2006. This is a very leading question, and feel free to throw this in chat if you have questions. What do you think? I'll rephrase this. Where do you think YouTube falls on the top search engines on the internet? Throw stuff in chat. Let's see what people think. Where do you think it falls? Do you think it's the number one, number two, number three? What do you think it's higher than, lower than? We've got one, two, three, top three. Okay, top five. I mean, you said top five. That's a little bit easy, right? You gave yourself a nice buffer. So good job with that. All right, it's number two. Those of you that said number two, that's wild to think about, right? Google's number one, YouTube is number two. And I'm guilty of it. That's where I go to search stuff all the time. I go work on stuff in my car. I was like taking parts of my car apart the other day because I was watching a YouTube video. I have no business working in my car at all. So think about how integral and how core to our life video is right now. I can't even think about what it was like before then. In 2006, that didn't exist. That was not there. So you can see here, as we jump into 2010, the iPhone came out, Skype started to become a big one, which I know Skype is still around today. I don't know how much of the market they use, but we don't use Skype as a verb. What do we use as a verb now? Zoom, right? We Zoom. We Zoom all the time. We're on Zoom right now. Think about how much that became a thing in COVID in 2020. Video became essential. I know I just jumped over a whole bunch of things, but I think thinking about where we are now from a video usage standpoint, I talk with Julia every day. I talk with Steph every day. We live in different parts of Colorado. We talk with our VP of product who lives in Virginia every single day, face to face. Those things were not happening 10, 15 years ago. This is all new, exciting stuff. Now, I think where we start talking about kind of the end of this is where it really starts to become a really pertinent, exciting thing now. When we start talking about one, we have to realize that COVID, with video becoming essential, that fatigue became a very real factor. I was actually talking with my mom last night about, man, we're still figuring out what COVID did to us psychologically in so many ways and how it affected us. This is one of those pieces. While I love seeing people face to face, all of a sudden we became very reliant on it. And some people have had a negative effect from that, of going like, I'm so sick of being on video. I don't want to record more videos. And I think that's where an interesting piece of how does AI fit with video is starting to come into the conversation. Obviously, we're hearing AI all over the place. We're going to talk about that to a large extent today. Steph's got some amazing stuff to talk about there. But this just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of the path that we've gone over the last, 10 years, 15 years of some of those pieces. Julia, I don't know if anything, maybe from your own personal experience or just from looking at this timeline, are there moments that stand out to you that have been really monumental from a video evolution perspective?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Kevin, you've mapped it out in a pretty amazing way here, right? I think the thing that strikes me most is category category establishment, right? BombBomb in 2006 created a category. And so to me, just watching the evolution of all of these technologies that are integral to our workflows and what we do on a daily basis across industries, across business segments, they're so vital. And it's just really extraordinary to see in such a succinct way the impact that video messaging has had on all of us.
Hmm. I mean, you look from a marketing perspective too, and look at like influencer marketing and how that's become a huge trend over the last few years of we want raw products are literally giving their products to people that have a large following for them to record simple videos rather than producing these commercials. Rather, I mean, they're still doing those. There's different strategies, of course, with all of it, but yeah, what an interesting switch we've seen. People want to hear from real people. I kind of jumped over this, but the authenticity is equaling less polish, more raw videos. The personal video is emerging kind of in that frame too. Those are all really important things for us to factor in and kind of see how that's, going on really well. So, with that being said, Steph, I kind of jumped past you. Is there anything that really stuck out to you as far as your video usage, as far as maybe things on this timeline that have been impactful for you?
Yeah, I think with COVID and more people being introduced to video, that people are now feeling more comfortable with it. It now seems really easy to just send someone a Zoom or send someone a video, whereas before people just weren't as comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's really funny. Yesterday, we work with some contractors here at BombBomb, and I sent a video. I had scheduled a 25-minute meeting with a coworker of mine, going, "I need to figure out a solution for this." And then I went, "You know what? I'm just going to do a screen record. I'm going to show her what I'm looking for. I'm going to talk her through it." And she goes, "Oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're looking for. Let me send this." I was able to cancel the whole meeting because I sent her a 2-minute video that was just so clear, so compact. So this is stuff that we're continuing to learn from and utilize on a day-to-day basis. But let's kind of jump back and start talking about some of this. Julia, I know this has been instrumental. You have done more research in the last 2 years about video, about marketing, about product, about all of these pieces. Talk a little bit about some of the things you've learned. I know we've broken it down by industry, but feel free to kind of take this whatever direction you wanted, and talk through some of the things you've learned as you've been doing a lot of research on this.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so as Kevin said, right, 17 years ago, um, BombBomb pioneered the category. And today we want to share with you what the data is telling us about how modern teams are using video and AI to break through the noise and drive real results in business. So we're going to hop through some four primary personas: marketing, sales, customer success, and HR leaders, right? Because these functions own the most critical communication workflows in the modern enterprise. So they're responsible for breaking through, earning trust, driving results, um, all in places where authenticity matters most. So with all of this extensive research that we've done over the last couple of years, we wanted to surface to you guys some of the primary industry insights, top use cases for video messaging, and key trends that we are seeing amongst these four primary leaders in the go-to-market space. So first and foremost, I know all of you marketing leaders on the call, I think you're going to agree with this. Email fatigue is real, right? Inboxes are unbelievably saturated. People are being sold to from a million different directions all the time. And the same automation playbooks are not moving the needle anymore. Um, 59% of sales and marketing leaders are now using AI to personalize content and improve campaign engagement. But it only works when it feels human. So that's a really big insight that we have gleaned. Um, and in terms of top use cases, so marketing leaders are using video messaging and driving serious impact with these three primary use cases: product launches and brand campaigns. So, really humanizing launch campaigns with short teaser videos that are embedded into email and outreach sequences, re-engagement drips. So reawakening cold leads with video touch points that add actual value and signal effort, real human effort, time, energy. Um, Event and webinar follow-ups. This is a big one. Kevin, you do these all the time, right? But really trying to stand out post-event with personalized recaps from the presenter or the sales rep, et cetera, and just having one additional touch point to really wrap things up. And in terms of key trends for marketing leaders, what we're really seeing is AI and video personalization. So we come back to the answers that you guys posted in Kevin's first poll, which nailed it. Um, the goal is to automate at scale, but keep the authenticity that builds brand trust. So that's our primary key trend in this space. And secondarily, integrated analytics. So combining campaign performance data and engagement metrics to optimize in real time. This is like of the utmost importance for marketing leaders in this space right now.
Julia, a couple of questions on this. One, and I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. I'm thinking about integrated analytics and going like, my gosh, my brain almost has a hard time understanding what that means. Do you have an example of something that might fall under that category?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I think marketing leaders, right? One of the most difficult challenges that marketing leaders are faced with today is attribution, right? It's really, really difficult to be able to confidently say X campaign contributed to
Mm.
X bottom line revenue increase, churn reduction, yada yada, right? Pointing back to business metrics becomes increasingly important in today's day and age where all of us are responsible for proving our own ROI. And so I think we have to start demanding that from every piece of software that exists in our tech stack.
That's amazing. And I think I have thought about this a lot as well about like vanity metrics to a degree, right? It's so easy to track. I got this many emails opened. I got this many videos played. I got this many clicks in my emails. But if you can't attribute that directly to closing more business, being more effective, what do those metrics even mean, right? It's just us kind of going like, wow, look at what we did. Look how great we are. So I love that point. We also had a question on a point higher, and then I know we're going to jump to sales leaders next. When you were talking about personalization and authenticity, we got a question in Q&A from an anonymous attendee, so I don't even know who it's from, but they were like, I've noticed that proper manners are essentially ignored online. How important is it to be polite? Is there a trade-off between politeness and authenticity? I mean, I have thoughts on this, but do you have kind of initial thoughts in that vein? Because I think this is going to come up a lot throughout this conversation today.
I really love that question. I really love that question. To me, I think that politeness, first of all, it's vital, right? Like I think professionalism and kindness, that's why we're here, right? That's why we show up to our jobs every day. But I think that when we say authenticity, I believe that authenticity tracks to honesty. And I think honesty becomes increasingly important um, as we dig into this idea of authenticity. I think that people are tired of fluff, right? Myself included. Like, add value with every word you're saying. If you can say it in two, say it in two, don't say it in 20. And I
Mm.
think we're seeing that a lot in the B2B space as well, as people are really examining their positioning and their messaging. Um, and that's always been a challenge in B2B, right? You can go to a B2B website and 45 minutes after investigating, I still don't know what the company does.
Yeah, it's real. I would love to hear if you guys have thoughts on this as well. Throw it in chat. Like this is a very open discussion that I think is really important for all of us to continue to explore because I do think there can be a tendency to have authenticity be a mask for I just get to be mean. I get to be like brutally honest about something, especially online when we don't know the people, we're not face to face. I think a great way to think about it is authenticity. Am I being true to myself in the way that I'm speaking, in the way that I'm presenting myself? And also go, would I say this to somebody if I was looking them in the eye? For me, that is just such a great test because I wouldn't say granted, I don't go online and say a lot of mean things, but I read reviews, I read video posts, I read all these things and go, there is no way that person would look somebody in the eye and actually say that to them. It's easy behind a screen. So I don't know. We could go into this. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts. Mary Lou, I love that. Authenticity is being in alignment with my integrity. That's a great, simple, short way to kind of think about that. Really, really interesting. So let's keep moving on. Let's jump to sales leaders. I just thought those were kind of some interesting points as we were continue to talk through this. So Julia, back to you. Talk through the sales leader stuff.
Great, absolutely. Okay, so same lines, right, as what we just covered in terms of marketing leaders. But for sales leaders, in terms of the two primary industry insights that we have gleaned, pipeline performance is the top KPI for AI. So 62% of sales teams expect AI to drive conversions and close rates. That's a pretty profound metric, considering how new the integration of AI is into workflows. I was pretty blown away by that. I thought that was pretty amazing. And secondarily, human interaction still matters, right? So trust and nuance in messaging are absolutely key for complex sales. So to the question that we just answered, yes, AI is huge, more pertinent than ever, essential to integrate into our workflows. And though the human part becomes increasingly important. So in terms of top use cases that we identified for video messaging for sales leaders, again, sales leaders that are really crushing it with video messaging, outbound prospecting is number one. So dropping into inboxes with videos and intros that create connection from the very, very first touch. Secondarily, one that's huge is post demo recaps. So, recapping key value drivers and next steps to really retain the momentum that you've already created in your face to face session. Upselling and cross selling. So, video check ins to show value and introduce new solutions on a very consistent basis. I think one of the things that our founder is so adamant about is face to face, right? That's like we have many, many metrics around that, but people don't buy products or solutions, right? They trust each other. And we come back to needing face to face time. So that's a big one. And then in terms of key trends, not too different from the marketing leaders, but some pretty cool nuances here. So primary key trend for sales leaders right now is AI assisted personalization. So a massive movement around personal messages that are built with AI support, but not AI replacement. And this becomes a really interesting theme in the product roadmap that Steph is so integral in developing right now at BombBomb. And then secondarily, accelerated pipeline, right? So teams using AI to identify conversion blockers and plug in video at the right moments. That is becoming like everything in this space.
Which is hard. That is a hard solution to fix. I know there was a chat, I forget who chatted in a little bit ago, talking about, are we going to talk about AI avatars and things like that? Yeah, we are. Steph has asked a lot of people and talked to a lot of people specifically about those. And you get one answer from one person and a completely opposite answer from somebody else, right? There is a huge spectrum of where people think they fall on this. So we are going to continue to dive more and more into that. But I think those nuances of the AI assisted piece is hard because back to the authenticity, we don't want to feel like we're being tricked or we're being lied to or this is a fake person. I'd be curious all of your thoughts. Throw in stuff on avatar in chat right now, on avatars in chat right now. I've seen videos of the avatars and I feel like I can tell right away that that doesn't, something feels off. I don't know what it is. But the AI assisted stuff where it can actually be a real human that we then enhance in certain ways. How does that fit, right? Like, so throw your thoughts in there as well. One other thing I want to throw in just again, as we continue these conversations, I know we're talking about sales leaders, marketing leaders. I know we have a lot of people. Mary Lou, you actually chatted in as well about being kind of a solopreneur. this conversation is still extremely relevant to you. She mentioned that she's got a book coming out in a few months, and she's an author, obviously, and doing some different things. Great. Guess what? To launch that book, you're going to have to sell that book. You're going to have to market that book. You're going to have to do all of these things. So even though maybe you're one person wearing all of these hats simultaneously, each of these things are so pertinent to understanding kind of the different pieces and those different hats that you're going to wear. And maybe you're going, wow, I'm not a marketing expert. That's the part I don't enjoy. Cool. Take some of these tips and use one of them on how you can market this product, this book that you're writing. So, any of you that are solopreneurs, whether it's real estate, mortgage, whatever, we know we have a lot of people in a lot of industries here. Use these tips, even if you're not a marketing leader specifically, because it could really help you with the way you market your business. You are still leading your business in that way. All right, Julia, let's jump over to success leaders. I think this is a really interesting transition because customer success is a very different nuance than sales, marketing, trying to get people's attention up front. Now we've got their attention. How are you seeing people use video to kind of maintain that and build those relationships?
Such a great question. Yes. So in terms of top use cases for success leaders, where we're really seeing support and success leaders succeed with video messaging is um, onboarding and setup, right? So sending pre-built welcome videos with a personal touch to new users, and establishing that comfortability with product, with your process, with your team, like right up front and from the get-go. Proactive churn prevention is another really big one, right? So triggering videos based on usage drops or missed milestones. This is, again, to Kevin's point, you've got to have the infrastructure in the background to support it. But when this is working properly, it's a pretty incredible machine. Um, Expansion and renewal is number three. So reintroducing product value and strengthening relationships well before renewal windows come up. Um, I would say those are the three primary use cases for success leaders. And interestingly, in terms of leading industry insights here, 54% of customer success leaders are now using customer behavior signals to proactively engage at-risk accounts. So that's another great stat that supports the fact that AI isn't replacing success or support. It's just making human follow-up more timely, more relevant, and more empathetic at the right milestones.
Mm.
I think that becomes increasingly relevant here. Um, and key trends in terms of success leaders, um, we are really seeing AI forward success leaders use AI to drive insights. So spot risk early, right? With predictive data, respond with a human driven outreach, and secondarily humanized automation. So it's a it's a blend of empathy and efficiency. And video lets you scale support without losing connection. So that's a really big one in this for these leaders right now.
That's awesome. And we're going to jump pretty quick to the last section, the human resource leaders as well. But I do want you to hear, I think a trend you're going to hear time and time again with this conversation is that we believe AI is really, really powerful. We also believe the human is really, really powerful. And there's a blend of this. It's not an AI take over and replace. It's a how do we use these to trigger us to be more human in certain instances and help us build those human connections. So just kind of keep listening for that because I'm even just hearing as you're talking through this more and more, Julia, that feels like a trend of some of the things we're learning from this. So jump in with the human resource leaders, and then I want to get into the AI stuff. So we've got some time to show them kind of the things at the end here, and we're already cranking through this. So go ahead,
Yes.
Julia.
Nailed it. I think honestly, biggest industry insights that we have found throughout our research over the last couple of years in the HR leader space is that no surprise to anybody on this call, right? Hybrid work has created communication gaps, and things like face-to-face video help to bridge those gaps. 70% of HR leaders say their teams lack the tools or the training to apply AI in internal comms effectively. So that is another really interesting thing when you think about the tools that are right for your team. It's not just about getting the tools in the door, but then it's adopting them, right? Then it's making sure that people are using them and they're effective, et cetera, et cetera. So in terms of key trends for HR leaders right now, it's really about AI for cultural consistency. So keeping company values front and center across distributed teams, and simplified AI integrations. So equipping HR with intuitive, scalable tools for internal storytelling. And basically, key takeaways, key takeaways from this little section here. AI isn't replacing human connection, it's enabling it at scale. Um, every team is being asked to do more with less. And I believe, truly, we believe that this is where AI comes in, right? Leaders need scalable, repeatable ways to build trust, convert faster, and retain longer. And video is really proving to be a critical edge in that battle. And then lastly, that the future of communication is human first and AI smart. And I,
Mm.
yeah, and I think Steph's gonna take us into some more interesting directions with that.
I like that. You need to like what is it, like patent that saying real quick, Julia. Go lock that down. So obviously I didn't mean to steal one of your key takeaways a minute ago when I threw that out there, but I think what's important for you guys to hear is that we're learning all of this, not just on us making assumptions. We are talking to a lot of people doing a lot of these things, and that's where we're learning some of that out. Obviously, AI has been a trigger piece in this whole conversation because everybody's trying to figure that out right now and go, how much do I want to lean into that? How much am I going to push against that? I heard an example recently where somebody was talking about how, think about somebody in real estate in like the 90s and they didn't want to go to the internet. They're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with my books. I'm going to keep faxing stuff. I'm going to do it the way I want to. I am pretty confident they would not be in business now if they did not make that transition, whether we like it or not, which I know a lot of people didn't like the internet when that became a thing. AI is that big. It is that monumental of a shift in the way we're learning to do business that we have to have that conversation. And Steph, I mean, this is really where we bring a lot of your expertise and a lot of the research you came in. I'm going to jump over and kind of just share these results so people have time to digest it. But talk a little bit about the conversations you were having and some of the stuff you started to learn more specifically about AI and what people's desire for that was.
Yeah, so we did a big AI study that was qualitative. So I just talked to various people that use BombBomb, as well as just various sales and marketing leaders. And it was very interesting because, as Kevin alluded to, there are some people on one end of the spectrum who are very AI hesitant. They're very nervous about it. They don't like it. And then there's people on the other end that are super excited about it. And so we really wanted to learn for the people that are excited, what are the things that they've been looking into, the feature ideas they've had. And then for the people that are hesitant, are they really hesitant or does the word AI just kind of put them off in some way? And so what we learned is that there are a lot of different features we put in front of people that we're thinking about developing, and we got their feedback on them. And as we saw in the survey, talking to all of y'all today, personalization was by and large what excited people the most. So that was really cool to see. The second biggest thing that people were really interested in was improved audio quality. AI can really help with that. And so we're right now developing features around that to help make people's video recording experience a lot better. There were
Steph,
also
not to like interrupt too much, I think this is a really interesting point of that marriage of going AI is not replacing Steph on the video, but all of a sudden if Steph has a great video with a lot of background noise or a lot of stuff going on that's distracting from her, can we use those tools to help refocus and bring more of the human communication in that? So I just think audio is a really interesting one that I didn't initially think of as going, oh, this could be something that could be really beneficial that's still allowing that personalization. Okay, jump back in. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And to Kevin's point too, the filler words for so people that were disinterested in AI and nervous about it, when you ask them, hey, what if there was an AI avatar that could jump in and help you streamline your videos and remove those filler words, but the rest of the video is you? everybody that was AI hesitant was like, oh, well, if it's AI in that use case, I'm totally for it. So it was really interesting to see, even the AI hesitant people, there's some AI features that really excite them if it's something that can add actual value to their workflows.
Which shows so much that none of us really know what AI is. Like,
Exactly.
it is
Yeah.
such a broad scope of things that part of me still thinks like Will Smith AI, like a robot chasing me down in an action movie. Like, I don't want that. That seems terrible.
Kevin,
Like
that's
removing
amazing.
audio, like I'm just being real here. I think it's really interesting. And Mary Lou's been throwing some really interesting stuff about, she loves using Claude, she loves using ChatGPT, these great tools. You have to monitor them. They get a lot of things wrong as well, right? Of course. You can't just like throw it in, set it and forget it kind of thing. But yeah, iRobot, exactly. And was AI Robin Williams, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Like going full robot mode. I just think it's really important for us to realize, like, wow, when you say AI, people think of myriad of different things. And none of those are necessarily wrong, but they're also not the only definition of that. And we have to kind of continue to remember that scope. So, sorry, I keep interrupting you, Steph. I just get excited about
No, this is great. Those are great additions.
that.
And so we learned a lot of stuff talking to, our customers as well as sales and marketing leaders. So the biggest thing we heard from folks is that AI and just basically automation in general can really help speed up teams' work processes and workflows. Another thing was personalization. Any way that we can use AI to help personalize videos was very appealing to sales and marketing leaders. And then sales motivation. Most sales leaders are really interested in buying any tools that help boost their team's video output. They know video is important, but they're not sure quite how to work it into their workflows. Another big one we touched on was audio quality. And then one that all of the sales leaders and marketing leaders we spoke to brought up was the potential for improving SDR workflows with some of the new features that we're rolling out. And then another one, as we talked to, was better AI framing. I know a lot of y'all have talked about AI avatars in the chat. And one thing that was interesting was when we framed AI avatars as an AI assistant or an AI buddy, it made people feel way more comfortable. And for sales leaders, getting their people on their teams to adopt AI is challenging as well. So making sure that they frame it in a way that makes their team members feel comfortable is really important.
Another perfect example of this when we were going over some of this stuff was that fourth one down there, the beauty edits, right? When you frame it as beauty edits, a lot of men go like, "Oh, I don't need that. Like I'm good." But when we start to frame it as like visual enhancements or things that they could help, remove some blemishes from your skin. They could help do things like that. And it's just verbalized in a different way. Immediately we're like, "Oh, well, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm game for that." So it's so interesting how that framing really affects how people respond to it and how excited they get on this. So, Steph, I know you've got some deeper stuff, so I'm just going to let you kind of go through these next little things and keep jumping with you. What are some big things on each of those bullet points that you think are really helpful for people to know more?
Yeah, so for increased video adoption potential, as we know, many teams struggle with getting their salespeople or marketing folks to actually record videos. And so, with the ability to use our new product Copilot, which Julia will talk to in detail in a little bit here, this was really something that most of the sales and marketing leaders thought could help get their team to adopt video. And another thing we learned was if we do AI avatars in the future, that a lot of people thought that for older people on their team that are more uncomfortable recording videos, having a script that they could give an avatar and have the avatar present it would help with those roadblocks for recording videos.
Or even using some AI stuff to give scripting, just to give you more understanding of here's what I can say, here's how I can frame this and feel more confident, allows to record more, right? So some great pieces
Kevin,
there.
it's like you've been looking at our roadmap.
I'm just putting little teasers out there. I'm just kind of trying to throw that out there. I really want to hear about this one too, Steph, because again, I even talking about this a lot, this is still a hard one for my brain to fully conceptualize. So please talk a little bit more. I know we've talked a ton about personalization and authenticity, but lean into that a little bit more and give us a little more on that.
Yeah, so as we chatted about earlier, and all of y'all are very interested in personalization as well, all the sales leaders and marketing leaders we spoke to were really, really excited about personalization. And one thing that came up when we were talking about features ideas and how we could go about implementing personalization into our product was being able to dynamically swap out the name of the particular person you're sending a video to. So, as many of you probably already do, you send a video, but you want it to be personalized, but you don't necessarily want to go in there and have to re-record that video to say John, Jenny. And so we're looking into how we can dynamically swap names in videos because that was one of the most exciting feature ideas that we spoke to folks about.
Interesting. I love that one. That one's exciting. And I also want you to know that we've been really intentional and maybe even a little slower to jump into AI here at BombBomb because we wanted to be intentional. We wanted to do it the right way. We didn't want to jump in so we could just tag a bunch of things AI. We want to make sure that we're rolling out the things that you all need and doing this research and making sure we're doing it well. I mean, how many times have you guys seen a video where somebody's mouth just doesn't look right with the audio? We want to make sure that we're doing the right things and doing it in the right way. Julia, did you want to add something to that too?
I think that is such a brilliant point to just touch on, Kevin. I think we as a team have had so many conversations about the speed of AI, and when we look at some of our competitors and the early AI technology that they have adopted, um, I like the word gimmicky comes to mind, right? Like I think about a lot of features, AI features that are now table stakes, um, being able to turn yourself into a cat, for example. Like this stuff, how much does it actually improve your workflows? How meaningful is it to you?
Mm.
What value does it bring to your business, and to you as a person? And so I think that is really the approach with which we are bringing to our feature development, particularly in the world of AI.
And so much of that is this research, is slowing down, talking to people, asking the questions. And that's why we wanted to convey this to you. So you guys can kind of learn our process in this, and see, what's coming in the road from that. So jump into the audio quality piece, Steph. I know we've talked about this a handful of times, but what else do you have to add to that one?
Yeah, so we're currently working on a new feature for auto quality. What we heard from all the people I spoke to was that they were really interested in having audio editing that would help reduce background noise. As many of you probably also do work in an office where there's a lot of noise, but you want to send a video that's professional and polished. So the features we're working on now will help reduce those background noises and then also help people who are very soft-spoken sound more confident in their videos. I'm sure many of y'all have people on your teams where they might send a video and they kind of sound like this and you can barely hear them. And so this editing will help enhance their voice as well.
Yeah, again, for those of you that said the courage to be on video more, these are all tools to just help you feel like the result you're sending out is better. You can feel more confident in that because that's going to encourage you to record more. What about the sales motivation? I know Julia touched on this a little bit. I know we have a slide for the SDR side of it as well, but what did you learn from sales specific motions?
Yeah, so as we were talking to people about our new product Copilot, we were really learning and trying to gauge how much this would be helpful in their sales processes. So all the sales leaders we spoke to said that Copilot and other things that would help them automate their workflows would really help increase the sales motion. So there's a lot of hesitancy around video currently because people have to record one-off videos, add them to each email, and it's kind of a laborious process as it stands now. But as Julia will speak to more, our new product Copilot really helps streamline that process so that it can make adding videos to sales outreach much more quickly.
Well, and speaking of sales outreach, I mean, SDR is a huge element of the sales outreach motion. So what did you learn for those teams specifically?
Yeah, so most of the sales leaders that we were talking to and showing these feature ideas to were really excited about the potential for their SDRs to use this technology. As we know, SDRs use a lot of journeys and sequences in the CRMs that they're working in, but currently they have to go add each individual videos to these emails that are going out. So this is laborious. And the sales leaders said, oftentimes the sales leaders aren't actually, or the SDRs aren't actually adding videos in there. But with some of the new technology we're looking at, it's going to make it really easy to automate these things and speed up the workflow so that there's some personalization and human touch to the outreach that's going out through these emails.
Okay, so we've done a lot. Obviously, we spent a long time kind of talking about the research and giving people a lot of those insights. And hopefully, I think there's a lot to be learned from that, right? It's not just about like what's BombBomb doing. I think all of you can use that research and go, "Oh, interesting. How am I thinking about it? How am I doing this with my sales motion, with my marketing motion, within my CS? How am I keeping up with my clients that I currently have in a personal way, but how can I be efficient in those ways as well?" So just some things that we really learned as far as the future of this. Enterprise video needs have changed a ton. And we are focusing, we want you to know we are leaning more into teams, more into enterprise level clients. But I think what's important for all of you, even the solopreneurs, is we want to give an enterprise level product for everybody to use. You don't need to be an enterprise team to be able to benefit from a lot of these motions. But if we're thinking with those larger scales in mind, it really gives you access to tools that you don't normally get to see and get to use. And so I think that's a really, really important piece here. AI feature development it's a must. We have to have these things, but it must adapt to real use cases that you guys are wanting to use. It's not just that novelty, the doing it for the sake of doing it. And then some really big highlights that we've focused on here as we're moving forward is speed to video. How do we get you to record and deliver that video as quickly as possibly? That has to fit in your workflow. If it doesn't fit in your workflow and it's as efficient as typing an email, people aren't going to do it. We've got to move quickly through those things. User experience is an important piece of that speed to video, and also just understanding what is the recipient seeing? How is the recipient going to utilize this video? Because I can record the best video in the world. If it doesn't get played, it doesn't matter. So how do we make sure that that is a really powerful process? And then automation, of course, it's a big piece of this, especially when we're talking with the sales teams and some of those sort of pieces. So what are we changing? Julia, I'm going to throw this back to you because you really have been a cornerstone into some of the big changes and the big adjustments that BombBomb is looking to work on. And what we're going to show you here, and I want to make sure we get through this as quickly as possible so we can give you a little live glimpse into this, is BombBomb Engage is a new, well, Julia, I'll let you take it. You're so good at framing this in an exciting way. So tell them about BombBomb Engage and kind of what that represents for all of them out there.
You got it. Okay, so we last Friday officially launched Bomb Bomb Engage, which is our it is the foundation for the next generation of Bomb Bomb. When we think about Engage, I like to say it's not an upgrade, right? It's a new foundation. And so, what is different about Engage? Essentially, we took all the feedback. Our Steph and our amazing product team took all the feedback that we heard from our customers and around these market insights and competitive research, et cetera. And we built a new product platform. And that product platform is faster, it's more intuitive, it has an improved user experience. It includes enterprise ready controls and permissions. And as Steph alluded to, there are some really phenomenal features like Copilot's automated workflows that allow for automations and less manual follow up. So it's really engages BombBomb's response to all the feedback that we've heard. It's a reimagined platform built from the ground up.
Yes, and it's really exciting. And so, this next slide really hits on what you just talked about. Engage is not an upgrade, it's kind of a reimagining. It's a new foundation. When we're looking at Engage specifically and this foundation, I want you to think about it when I show you kind of these initial glimpses. Many of you are going to look at that and go like, "Oh, that looks really neat. It looks really clean. It's got a lot of similar things that I'm used to with BombBomb." And that's because we wanted to make sure we had something out there that was usable and effective for people right now, and then we build this amazing cadence of how we can improve on this and how we can take all of this research that we've done and add it onto that. So I'm going to jump in. I know we're getting near the end of this, so we're going to jump in just a second, but I do want to make sure you've heard the name Copilot mentioned a couple of times. And I want to make sure that, Julia, you have a second to kind of talk about this because Steph brought it up. And this is an amazing way that we're starting to tie personalization and automation together, and then I can give you a glimpse of what that looks like in your account specifically. But talk a little bit about this Copilot product that is coming with BombBomb Engage, that can be really powerful for people kind of any level of this.
Yeah, we're Copilot is a huge differentiator for us, and we're really excited to bring this to market. It's included in our core and Copilot plan as well as our enterprise plan. And essentially, Copilot is the ability to deliver the right video to the right person at the right time. Um, it automates repetitive outreach. So for all of you guys that have existing workflows and sequences and journeys, right, dependent upon your CRM, it allows you to add face-to-face video into those pre-existing workflows. And the results of including those videos into your sequences is pretty extraordinary, right? So things like smart campaigns and team assignments. Um, Again, CRM connected delivery. So specific to total expert and outreach now, more integrations coming down the road. But things like patented fallback logic, right? So if you assign a team member to record a video to include in a sequence, and that team member doesn't complete the assignment, not that that ever happens, but
Yeah.
so when that team member doesn't complete the assignment and add a video into the sequence, the sequence creator, the admin, has the ability to upload a fallback video that will play instead. So really thinking about these things that we're trying to automate, how do we make using and sending and receiving videos simpler? And that is the intent of Copilot, and it's only going to get better as we keep developing.
Well, and the ability to really confirm with so many of our teams that there will be a video in this email no matter what is a game changer. It gives them the control as an admin. And again, we're talking you could have a team of 4 people, you could have a team of hundreds of people. There is no size limit to any of these pieces, but for you to be able to go, I'm going to upload a video that's a fallback video that represents our company, it represents what we do. And then I'm going to allow each of my individual users to record a more personalized experience that would replace that fallback video. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. It really is powerful. We've been playing with it a lot. We're actually at a conference right now for Outreach, which is an amazing system on building sequences and building flows to reach out to sales opportunities. Holy cow, it's been so fun to play with and see that no matter what, we can make sure that there is a video in there. It's just a matter of what level of personalization is that video going to be. And that's left up to our salespeople. What we can still guarantee as a company, we've got something in there because we know video is more effective.
Yeah, and the coolest part about Copilot too is it solves all the primary problems, right? What we heard as a company over and over again is it's difficult to get people to record videos.
Mhm.
And so Copilot truly, that's the solution right there. If you're providing people with scripts, example videos, they've got a fallback. They can see how their coworkers are using it, what videos are successful, why and how. Then we're really stripping away the barriers to entry for video messaging, and that's the beauty of Copilot.
It's wonderful. So I'm going to do a little bit of a flip. This is where I want to jump in and I do want to show you Engage, and I'm absolutely going to do that. But I know we're getting close to the end here, and I want to make sure we kind of wrap some of these things up for the people that do need to jump at the top of the hour because I want to be respectful of your time. So here's what I'm going to do. I want to jump to where we're headed because I know a lot of you have been hearing the talk and you want to hear where we're going. Engage is a huge piece of that, but what does our cadence and releases look like moving forward? What does our map look like? I want to show you that in the next few minutes, and then I'm going to jump back and I'll jump into Engage and kind of give you all a little bit of a glimpse of that for those of you that are able to stay on this. So what's coming next? So June 6th, Julia just announced we did a full product launch of BombBomb Engage. Now with Engage, there are multiple levels of membership, just like what those of you who are with BombBomb are used to. They're different. They're different levels because again, we're learning from you what do you need. So we have Core, which is our base level membership that gives you all of the video pieces you need. It gives you the video editing, it gives you the analytics. We haven't talked as much about RBAC, but that's role-based action controls. If you do have a team, you now have the amazing ability to assign team members to BombBomb and give them different functionality, give them different abilities. If you want somebody that just controls content sharing and they do a lot of the design stuff and upload your logos, great. You can have somebody that's just in charge of one team. You can have different teams within your one account. There is so much flexibility and possibility with this RBAC, these role-based action controls, where you can decide who has control of what and who oversees what. And it just makes everybody's life a heck of a lot easier. We also have the co-pilot level, which is that next level where you've got that automated with the video fallback pieces, which are amazing. And then we do have full enterprise plans. Joseph, I know you had thrown in, can we talk to somebody? Yes, I'm going to give you a link for a demo. Julia or Steph, if you have that demo link and you want to pop it in chat right now, let's just do it. Why wait? If you are interested in talking with somebody about these, you can schedule a demo and talk to somebody right now. Maybe not right this second, but we can get there. We can have those conversations going. So we've got different levels again to match your different needs. Some things that are available soon and coming soon. I want to spend a minute here kind of on the roadmap. And Steph or Julia, whoever of you feels like you want to jump in and talk the most about this, talk about this new cycle, the new releases, and what some of our focuses are going to be coming up in these first releases here.
I want Steph to take it away. This is her ballywick, so I think we'll hop to the next, and Steph, take us away.
Awesome. Yeah, so next on our roadmap, I know a few people were asking about teleprompters, so that's something we have coming up for late in the year or early next year. But BombBomb Engage, as Julia spoke to, is our new reimagined product, which is great. And so that is now available for folks. The next set of features we have coming up is the AI features. So as we spoke to the AI audio editing, and a few of the other things that you saw on that feature list earlier today. And then we're working on various CRM integrations in AI analytics. We're building out an analytics team that can help AI train AI models to help people learn how to make better videos. Then we're looking at marketing platform integrations and as well as just AI feature expansion in general, just talking to our customers, talking to potential prospects to really understand what people are most excited about. And I will send out a form if anybody has any ideas or feelings on features that they would like to see in the app. You can sign up for our research panel, and I'd love to talk to you and learn more about what you're looking for.
You're probably hearing a lot. We really like to talk to you all. We really want to hear from you. We want to learn from you. We don't want to be a company that tries to make a decision for 40,000 people. We want to hear from you and learn what do you need. And that's where this piece is coming from. That's where all this research we've done. I'm going to jump back a second here just to kind of highlight this. An 8-week release cycle. I think this is really big and really exciting, especially for those of you that haven't been here or have been with BombBomb for a good amount of time. It's been a little while since we've been able to release some fun, exciting things because it's been a big release for Engage directly. But we are now on an 8-week cycle going to be releasing new stuff all the time. We're going to be adding to this. We're going to be listening to this. So keep that in mind as you're looking on this. And if you want to be a part of that discussion, we're going to grab the link and share that with you as well, so that we can make sure that you are a part of it. You have a say in some of these things moving forward. So last quick few things I want to jump on since we're already a few minutes over. And I know a couple people have been like, I have to leave. I'm so sorry. I wish I didn't have to miss more things. We will send you the recording. We always do our best to get it in an hour, but we always want to pack it with stuff too. So it's a hard mix. Key takeaways for you. One, we're listening. We're listening to you guys. Two, we're making changes on that, and we are really, really excited about the future. So what can you do now? Number one here is be a part of the solution. Steph, did you share that Airtable link? You did. I see it in there. Those of you that want to be a part of the discussion, the conversation, click on that link that Steph just shared. It's the airtable.com link. It's a quick form. It'll take you 2 seconds to fill out. This just lets us know, here's my info. I want to be a part of this discussion. Please reach out to me with questions. Let's talk more. You can be a part of where BombBomb goes. That feels really exciting to me, right? If you are passionate about video and you want to have a say in the things that are most important, great. Let us know those things. Fill out that form, click on that, and let's walk through that. If you are a current user of BombBomb, keep your eyes open. We're doing a lot of changes. We have already notified certain people on certain membership levels, hey, if you're interested in exploring BombBomb Engage, here's how we do this. Now, there is some complexity to this because depending on what membership level you currently have with BombBomb, not all of those features have been recreated in BombBomb Engage yet. And so we're really evaluating what are the right things. We don't want to take anything away from you. We want to keep adding the right things that you need. We will be notifying you guys within your BombBomb account. So log in and check for that. We'll also be setting you notifications on, hey, you're eligible to move. Would you like to take advantage of that? hold tight a little bit longer, keep working on where you're at, because we've got some big things that we think will make this a smoother transition for you in the future. So if you're a current user of ours, keep your eyes open for those notifications, those messages. We will keep you in the loop with all of that. If you are new, if you've never signed up for BombBomb before and want to jump in, explore, I think it was Coach Maddox just said, oh, I just signed up yesterday. Am I in Engage? Yes. If you sign up right now for a new trial, you are in BombBomb Engage. You are getting to explore this brand new version, this new step forward in what BombBomb wants to do moving forward. So literally, just go to bombbomb.com, click sign up. You can do it right there. There's no requirements. You get 14 days to really enjoy, explore, play, and have fun with that. So if you're brand new and want to do that, you can hop in and do that as well. So Julia, Steph, anything we want to add to those kind of call to actions, those pieces, anything that needs to be clarified there from your angles?
Oh, I don't think so. I would say if you're new to BombBomb, go check it out. Go start your 14-day free trial and come along for the ride. And we're so grateful to be able to chat with all of you today. Thank you.
And even go sign up for your trial and then click on Airtable and let us know what you think. Sign up, let us talk to you. We want to hear, we want to grow, we want to continue to iterate in the right ways. So I am clicking over and jumping into BombBomb Engage right now to give you a quick view of this. I'm not going to spend the next 30 minutes walking through every piece of this, I promise. But I want to show you, those of you who are familiar with BombBomb are instantly going, oh, this looks different. This looks pretty different in a lot of really, really good ways. Some quick, easy things. You'll notice we used to have a bar across the top, but guess what? That's over on the side now so that it can live here and still give you a lot of working space. We've adjusted our colors for our new branding. We're adjusting a lot of those things from a UI perspective. Again, that speed to video piece is vitally important. We wanted to make sure you can get to creating a video as quickly as possible. So in that process, we've even taken out some steps in the current platform. Sometimes you have to click create a video and then choose screen record or not. We've taken some of those steps to get you to create a video as quickly as possible. Now, does that mean the screen recorder is removed? Absolutely not. That's one of my favorite things that I use more than anything else in BombBomb. So once you've launched the recorder here, and it might take a second because I'm using my video. Whenever I use my video camera in multiple places, it likes to freeze on me. So let me switch this. There we go. And it might freeze because see, this is one of those things. You go buy fancier stuff and it just makes everything more complicated. It just never
You're
works
right.
this way. So you can come here, click create a video, and you're going to see a very similar work experience to what you're used to in those ways. Now that I've switched my camera, I think it'll load. And just kind of show you, I just want you to see that it's similar. We still have the record screen down here. We did have some people that were asking about some video effects and some different things. We do have appearance effects in here that you can play with right now. Of course, getting nicer cameras and those things will always improve certain elements, but you can do smart zoom, brightness, color balance, touch up your appearance a little bit. All of those are in here in the effects banner, as well as virtual backgrounds and stuff. So again, these are all in any version of BombBomb that you have. This is not just Engage, but just looks a little different in here. I do want to show you kind of our new insights page. That's really exciting. If you're a single user, I'm in a team that hasn't used much in the last week, so there's not a lot of data, unfortunately, that you're seeing on this. But you can come in here and see what's effective, what's working for you. If you do have a team, you can have team insights. We've got leaderboards to see who's recorded the most, who has the most video plays, videos recorded. All of those pieces can be loaded in here as well. And you've also got some amazing ability to manage your teams. That's a lot of that RBAC technology that BombBomb has now, where you can decide what users do I want to have certain roles and on what team are they members. We can have different teams for all sorts of different stuff in our same account. So I can share stuff with just certain pieces of the team. They don't have to go out to everybody, right? So I know I'm jumping through a lot of this really quickly just because I want to give you a little glimpse. But what I do want to show you and spend a little more time on is the automated workflows. This is that Copilot product that Julia was talking about. So Copilot is the membership name, is the name if you're looking to have that fallback video technology in your app when you're using it. It's the automated workflows. And this is how you marry video to your sequences, whether you're using Total Expert or Outreach. You can come in here and you can actually create different campaigns that match with your sequences and Outreach. And then you can also come in and create the different assignments. I want to show you one of these just to kind of give you a little bit of visual representation to some of the terminology Julia was using, where you can come in and basically assign it to a team and what campaign it is. Here's where you can literally provide the suggested script for this video. So those people on your team that are a little bit more nervous to record, here's what you can say. I've taken that off the table so you don't have to come up with it on your own. We can upload as an admin. I can add this fallback video. So this is that company video that will always be in there until my users, my team members record their own more personal examples of those. And then you can also put an example video in here. Hey, this is a little bit of what I want your video to sound like. You can give them instructions in this. You can do this. The more resources, the more likely they are to do it. So we want to give them a lot of those pieces. And you, whether you're the admin or not, an admin for your team is able to come set all of that up. And then what's cool is I'll show you. Let's see if we've got any set up here. Gotta find if there's any teams that I have assignments set up for. I don't know if they've been assigned specifically for those. So you can see here, Acme Support actually has a test one that's in here and all that. So you can organize it by team. You can even jump in and look at your member adoption depending on what teams are using what pieces. So I can see here, Georgia's actually done all 4 of the videos that were assigned to her. Great. Good job, Georgia. You have done them. You're up to date. And then we've got all these people that are still needing to do these different pieces. So there's a lot of amazing functionality. And I probably just created a lot more questions for you as you're looking at this. That's okay. Again, this is more to give you a high level glimpse of this than it is to give you a full step-by-step walkthrough. And again, just remember with Engage, this is like our new base level. This is where we're building from. This is where we're going to be able to add so much of those feature rollouts that Steph was talking about with the AI enhancements, with the different pieces that are coming. We were in a meeting just before this. August, we're going to have a rollout sometime in August that's going to be some first elements of these pieces that you guys are wanting and are looking for and are going to be able to help you. So here's just a little bit of a glimpse of those pieces as well, so you can see what that looks like in the future.
And the only thing I do just want to throw out also is that for the lots of questions in the chat about existing BombBomb customers, and we're so excited to be having this conversation with you. I know you guys have seen a lot of emails and communications from us, from our marketing team, but also from your CSMs about this product. And I just want to throw out the fact that we're building. We're building every day, and we are building for you guys. And so currently, Engage does not include the marketing tools that you guys know and love if you are on the Plus plan of BombBomb right now. So as you guys saw earlier, right, we're building furiously the features and functionality that we know you guys are going to use most and need. And so until we get feature parity, right, with some of our classic plans, you guys just hold tight, and we are working hard every day to make sure that we can get as many people over to Engage as possible as soon as possible.
There's so many exciting things, and I know it leaves a little bit of gray area for some of you out there, but just again, keep your eyes on messages that are coming from us. We are going to start to build a much better communication mechanism and routine so that you know what's coming up and how it affects you directly, because it's going to be really specific to kind of your experience so far. So I do want to make sure we're already 13 minutes past. So I want to be really respectful. We've gone a little bit long. Thank you for the hundreds of you that are still here, still learning, still engaging. I want to make sure we're given a few seconds here to answer some questions that came through in the QA. We've been trying to answer a lot of them as we're going through this. But those of you that need to jump, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. We will send you this recording. We will send you the slides so that you can review those and see those as well. And keep your eyes open. We're so excited to keep you updated on these changes because we know it's what you guys are going to want and need because we're listening. That's where we're getting all of this information from. Julia and Steph, thank you both for all of the amazing information you've given to our people here. I know this was much more informational than a lot of our webinars, but thank you. I think you can all take some things and go, wow, that's something I hadn't thought about, but it's good to know that that's where marketing is headed. That's where HR is headed. That's where CS is headed. This is where AI in general is headed and what people are wanting. And start thinking about that and being really intentional with your business on how that can affect you and how you can start to make some of those decisions yourselves. Real quick, a couple of questions that I see here. Philip, you had asked, is there ability to embed video from BombBomb onto our webpage? Absolutely. If you go into your video, you grab your video on your video edit page within your BombBomb web app, there's an options where you can choose embed. and it'll give you the embed code that you can post on any website. You can put it anywhere you want to. So yes, there is an embed code for every individual video in your BombBomb account. There was another question about a teleprompter for reading scripts. We've had a lot of teleprompter discussions. I don't know where that's at on the roadmap. I see Julia and Steph both smiling and nodding. So
Yeah,
those are
and I
things
think
we are talking about. There's not anything currently in there that's teleprompter-esque. There is a suggested script place on the video record page where you can type some stuff in and have it to reference. I tell people as well, people are going to know you're using a teleprompter. People are going to know if you're looking at notes. That's okay. None of us have memorized hour-long iterations or a few minute-long videos. It's okay to say, hey, I've taken some notes to make sure I cover all the right things for you. If you see me looking down, I'm just referencing those to make sure I don't miss anything. Boom. Now you've given yourself permission to look away as much as you want to. Also, if you're sitting with somebody in person, we don't sit here like this and just talk to them the whole time, right? This feels really weird if I just keep sitting with and talking to you. It's okay to look away. It's okay to catch your thoughts. It's okay to come grab your note and then come back to the camera. I always think about the camera as just my home base. This is where I'm looking. This is where I'm coming back to. So just keep that in mind if you need to use notes or the suggested script and things. There was a question about some poor connectivity from a cell signal standpoint. What app should I use? What phone should I use? That's a big question that I can't really give you a full answer on. We can't control cell signal. We've got an amazing BombBomb app you can get on Android and iPhone. We have done some improvements to those over the last month or two. So if you haven't used it in a little while, go look at it again. Obviously, we can't improve cell signal. The one thing I would say with that, and this is from anonymous attendee, so I can't even reference your name specifically, but always make sure that you've got the setting in your mobile app that says save to phone. Turn it on. Make sure that toggle is turned on. Why? Because then if your cell signal stinks and you finish that video and you move on to the next thing and you realize, oh my gosh, it didn't upload to BombBomb or save to BombBomb, at least you have that video saved to your device and you can upload it to BombBomb in the mobile app and we haven't lost all that content. I don't want you to have to drive back out to a location or do something crazy there. So keep that in mind as kind of a solution for that. Let's see. Can we share BombBomb videos on LinkedIn and still have the tracking mechanisms? Yes, you can share directly on LinkedIn. Now, depending on how you share, depending on what we can track. So what we will be able to track when you share socially on LinkedIn specifically is video plays, percentage watched, anything video direct, we can. Of course, we can't share, email opens because you're not actually emailing that. So when it's shared through a third party, we don't have those pixels that we can kind of control that. But we can show you how much the video got played, what percentage got watched. If they like or comment on your video player page, you'll be able to see all of that tracking stuff. So all of that will be there. Oh man, I think I've entered. I'm reading and talking, so I'm saying things that aren't even what I'm trying to say. I think we've answered a lot of these things as I'm scrolling through here. So I think we've hit on a lot of these things for those of you that are still here. I see one from Lynn. I don't have a BombBomb yet. I'm an individual realtor. Which plan do you recommend to start with? Again, part of that is really going to be what are the solutions you need. If you're just wanting to jump in and be like, I just want to start using video. I want to get to video quickly. I don't want to worry about the technical junk. I don't want to worry about the delivery stuff. Then the core is a great initial jump into that solution. You'll get all of the video pieces there. If you're going, I really want to start automating video and connecting video to other pieces and CRMs and things like that, then it may be worth exploring the core and Copilot piece. Now, the cool thing is, if you sign up for the trial, I think it was Lynn who asked that question, you actually get access to all of it. So you can decide after you've played a little bit, what pieces do I need, what don't I need, and then make that decision when you purchase your BombBomb membership. But you get access to the Copilot piece as well as the core piece, so you can explore a lot of those pieces there. I'm going to stop talking. You guys are sick of hearing from me. You're sick of hearing my voice. Julia's laughing because she agrees. I know it. We're all there. We're all in agreement. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody that is here. We've still got over 100 people here, and we're 18 minutes long. I cannot express enough how much we value you, how much we appreciate you being a part of this community, how much we want your input to make BombBomb the absolute perfect video solution. We know it's never going to be perfect, but we want to try. We want to get there. and your input, your information helps so, so much. Hopefully, all of this gave you more information for your business. Hopefully, it showed you how much research we want to do to make the right choices for all of you and your businesses. I don't care if you're on a team of 100. I don't care if you're a solopreneur. We care that video helps you connect more realistically and more humanly with the people that need to hear from you. Thank you for being here. If you want to click on that Airtable link, sign up, be a part of the research, be an asset for this. We would love that. It helps us, and hopefully it helps us build for you more specifically. Other than that, Julie and Steph, thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank you. Not
Thank
only
you.
for being here today, but those of you out there have no idea how integral they have been to helping BombBomb take these next steps. We would not be where we are without both of you. And I cannot thank you enough for the effort, the work, the care, the kindness, the grace, all the things that you both have put into making BombBomb an amazing place, an amazing asset for all these people here. So thank you both so, 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 so much. You're amazing.
Kevin, we'd say the same for you.
Well, it's a
Thank
great
you
place to
all.
work. We love being here. Thank you all. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Enjoy June. I think summer's officially here. Enjoy it. Enjoy the sunshine. Get outside. We can't wait to see you next month with some more kind of strategic technical stuff. Have a great month. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.